Hi, I'm Linda Tilson, co-founder of The Last First Date, and today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss one of the biggest challenges in modern dating. And it's not that people have forgotten how to date, it's that they've forgotten how to build a life where meeting people happens naturally. And so one of the core ideas behind The Last First Date is that the goal isn't how do I find a partner? No, the goal is how do I become someone whose life naturally creates opportunities for meaningful relationships? And like a system, dating is very much like that. From the time before you meet the person, to meeting the person, to getting to know the person, to forming the relationship. And so there's an order to this. And the first thing that I want all of you to do is to rebuild a life that happens before you rebuild your love life. So that means that the first assignment isn't dating, it's becoming socially alive again. In this journey, some of the things that you can do are actually very simple. They're action oriented and they're easy to implement. So imagine all of the different people that you know that may or may not have been in direct connection with you because of your relationship that you may have uh, neglected. So, what you can do is you can reconnect with three of your old friends. You can also do things such as saying yes to one invitation each week. Get this, you could join one recurring activity that you genuinely enjoy. So it could be that morning yoga, it could be that music lesson, tennis lesson, any of those things that you really enjoy. So you become a regular somewhere that you frequent. So that could be going to your local coffee shop every Tuesday. It could be going to the gym to work out. It could be volunteering at an organization, attending a church service, any of these things. And so there's one objective, and it's not to meet someone, it's to become visible again. So that's the very first foundational thing that you'll do. The next thing that will happen is that you will build friendships first. So, friendship is a societal practice. So, instead of asking each person that you come across, could I date this person? Instead, you're going to ask, would I enjoy spending another hour talking with them? And the way that you can do this is like the first example with the action items. You can invite someone for coffee. You could possibly join a hiking or walking group. You could attend local community events. All of these things you can do. And here's another one. Take a class simply because it interests you. Because as you are meeting up with these people and doing activities together, chances are that these people that you know will often, when they know that you're looking to re enter the dating world, they will make introductions to people that they know of that are also looking to meet other people. So here you are building your life, you're nurturing your relationships, and now because of the conversations that you're having, it comes up that you're looking to re enter the dating scene. And so they're going to automatically say, I know someone that I would love to introduce you to. Would you love me to do that? And of course, you're thinking, here's an opportunity. You might be thinking other things too, to be honest. You might be thinking that sounded scary to be introduced to somebody. You might find it exciting to be introduced to someone. So either way, there's an opportunity being made, and so it's your choice on whether or not you say yes to the introduction or not. Then the third thing that I want you to learn about is learn to contribute instead of making an impression. And the reason why this is important is because people are going to remember how you made them feel. And really, you don't want to make it all about you and trying to press someone so that they'll like you and accept you and validate you. No, you want to contribute, because when we contribute, then the other person will contribute, and then it builds a partnership right there of contributions, people choosing to contribute to the the good of the order, the goal of the relationship. And so ways that you can contribute are actually very simple and they're very easy. So when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're giving you details about something, remember some of those details and then ask them thoughtful follow up questions to what they have shared. And when you learn about a person, then it can be like, well, that time that you were talking about gardening, well, I know this article that I just read. I think you would love to read more about how to plant sunflowers so that they'll bloom to their fullest. And so the person there knows that you are listening to what they were saying. You um, want to share in their interest, and then you're contributing by wanting to share an article so that they can learn more about that thing that they already said they like to do. Um, you can celebrate people's accomplishments. And another way you can contribute is introducing someone to someone they should know. And so all of these things that you're doing to build the relationship, to move it forward because you're choosing to do these small things, well, what it will do is it'll start to build trust. And trust is something that is much more satisfying than trying to perform to get someone to say certain things, to validate, to give you an attaboy, an attagirl. And so really the contribution is so much more meaningful. Number four, one of the things you can also do is to create a weekly connection goal. So I like this one. And so, most people will hope that relationships will happen, but intentional people schedule opportunities. So you get to be one of these intentional people that schedule opportunities. So you're not waiting for someone to come to you, you're opening up an opportunity where someone can step through a door if you put an invitation out there. So, for example, on Monday, you could decide to text one of your friends. Wednesday, you could attend a community event. Friday, you could decide to invite someone for coffee. Saturday, you can volunteer, or you could work on one of your hobbies that you've been wanting to and haven't had the time, so why not go for it? And then this one is the one that's my favorite here. After you spent this week inviting people and contributing in their lives in small ways, then on Sunday, reflect on who added value to your life and who you encouraged. Because all of these things are happening each of the days of the week. And so consistency is going to beat intensity any day of the week. So you don't need to have these grand adventures. You don't need to have it be emotionally charged. It's consistently showing up and contributing in big and small ways to people in your lives or in your life, and just making that be the thing that you're doing. It's not about the whole searching for that perfect partner. You're not doing that. You're building your life and becoming visible to everyone. And when you do that, it builds confidence, it builds security, you feel grounded, you show up much differently than if you are on this mission for this romantic partnership at all and any cost. Um, and so really this blends into the fifth thing here, which is to stop trying to manufacture the romantic environment. And so, you know, you don't need to be asking each person you meet, are they the one? Do they like me? Should I express my interest? Instead you're going to be, did I enjoy them? Did How did they contribute? What did I contribute? Did I feel leaving more energized? Would I enjoy seeing them again? These are healthier questions, and they work to build and nurture a relationship rather than just going from start to finish quickly and having this intense thing happen. The next one, number 6, is diversity in your relationships. So one mistake that people mistakenly do after they don't have a partner for either like divorce, or somebody has an illness, um, is that someone will look for one person to replace the person that they lost. And so instead, you want to build this ecosystem where you've got different types of friends. So I like to say you have like your friend that's your coffee buddy, your friend that you go walking with, a friend that you volunteer with, someone that you play music with, someone you travel with, someone that's spiritual. And all of these different types of friends, each person has something to contribute and offer. And then you're getting a wide range and variety. So instead of one person uh, being there and getting all of your attention and putting the pressure on them to be your all, you're not doing that. So you're not acting from a place of scarcity. You're choosing to start in from a place of being aligned. So you have all of these different friends with different interests and different things that you do with them, and so that builds that. So really, it's an ecosystem. Um, Another one, number 7, becoming known. So people trust familiar faces. So challenge yourself to become a familiar face in 3 places. Sounds easy enough. So you have your neighborhood, you have your service organization that you volunteer for, and let's say you also are known, um, where else? Uh, at your church. So you've got 3 different areas. And so when you choose to be in these different places and spaces, then that becomes a regular thing. And because you're a known face and because people trust you and they feel safe to talk to you, you're going to strike up conversations. You're going to have opportunities that are extended to you to participate. You can extend opportunities to other people to participate. And so you can see that when you choose to build before the relationship, you've got something full on your plate that's nourishing to you. You feel good about it. So when you go to meet other people, it's not an act of desperation, it's an act of inspiration. And and then so when you have that radiance about you, that secure sense of self, then meeting other people, it's an additive activity and it becomes a lot easier. And so I'm going to end with one last thing, and that's the 30-day challenge. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is to get out a pen and a piece of paper and write these down. So week 1, you're going to reach out to 3 people that you've lost touch with. Week 2, you're going to join one reoccurring group or class. Week 3, you're going to invite 2 different people to coffee or lunch. Week 4, you're going to attend an event where no one knows you and you're going to introduce yourself to 3 people. That one there is a challenge for me. And so I'm definitely going to make sure I'm doing that. And then what you do is you repeat this every month. And by the end of the year, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have had hundreds of meaningful interactions instead of waiting for one perfect person to appear. Because when you're not looking, you're not scanning, you're not wanting, you're not chasing, all of those things, then the people are going to appear and you're going to be ready because you've already got a full life of activities and things. And if someone you meet doesn't end up working out, you're not going to be devastated about it. And so this is the reason why at the last first date we say treat each and every interaction as one of friendship. And through that friendship, through that connection, then a romantic interest, it's going to emerge naturally when you go into conversation with them. You're going to have a lot to talk about what you're doing, who you're doing it with. You're going to be able to talk about the things that excite you when you get to do them, and so you're going to be really expressive. And when you are happy, fulfilled, and expressive, then that is what becomes the magnet or the inspiration for another person to want to get to know you. So it's all about creating the framework where dating becomes one expression of a well lived life rather than the center of it. And so, if you've liked today's conversation, there are many more of them that we will be having. And so, I invite you to come and participate, come contribute, and let's see where we can take your dating experience and change it to one that you look forward to rather than it being daunting or rather than it being something that has an expiration if you don't get it in and done, because that's not what relationship building is. It's much different. We're feeling connection. We are feeling with heart. We are making sure that we enjoy who we are when we're with these people that we meet along the way. And the more that we practice building the friendships and these other types of relationships and diversifying, the more full everything's going to be. And you come back and tell me that by doing this 30-day challenge that it doesn't change your life. I want to hear that it doesn't change your life, because I don't think you're going to come back and say that. You're going to be in the opposite position. You're going to say, Linda, this changed my life. And why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? Because it's really simple, easy, and it feels good, because that's what we're about. We're about making dating and building relationships feel good. Thank you.